What's up, guys? So as you can see here, we're working on a new TJ build. I'm doing this for a friend of mine. We're gonna be putting the Barnes 4-wheel drive 3-link front, triangulated 4-link rear in this. This is a 03 to 06 TJ frame that we found here in PA. Picked it up for $750. It's completely rust free. I know you're not going to believe that coming out of Pennsylvania, Northeast, but this frame is spotless, absolutely rust free. The last one we had, I'll put some pictures up in the video here, but we drove all the way to Kentucky, picked it up, and just didn't go well. Got it home, went to go take off the belly pan, and everything was completely rusted out underneath of it. So now that we have this frame, what we're going to be doing is cutting all the old control arm brackets and everything off the frame, getting it prepped and ready to start installing the Barnes 3-link front, 4-link rear subframe brackets. We got them mocked up, but I want to get all this old stuff off the frame first before we continue on that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put you up on a time lapse of getting this installed, cutting everything off, and we're going to do a full series on this build featuring the Barnes kit for the TJ. That's what I run on my personal TJ. It's an amazing kit. I love it. It pairs well with the ORI struts, and it's good geometry for a TJ. Now mine is stretched 2 inches in the front and 5 inches in the rear. This is just going to be a stock wheelbase TJ. We might get an inch out of the rear, something like that, just centering the wheel up and the wheel well. So yeah, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna set you up on a time lapse and we'll go off of there. And hopefully tonight we can get this all cut off and I can get a video uploaded starting that. And then hopefully within the weeks coming, we'll have a full series on how to install this and the body swap and the drivetrain swap, everything like that. And I just hope you all enjoy this. So here we go. Alright guys, about 25-30 minutes later, we got all the brackets cut off the old frame, or all the factory brackets cut off of this frame. They're gone, upper control arm mounts are gone. So now, we're going to move on to the back, and then we'll be able to start building this suspension out. So, wow, burning all kinds of holes in my sweatpants. Not very smart to work in sweatpants. So, now that we got those cut off, I always like to make them smooth. That way there's nothing to catch, nowhere that salt can get into and hold and then rust the frame out, because this is a really good frame. So we're gonna move on to the back. I'll throw you back on a time lapse for that. And then I'm gonna put you back on a video once we start talking about the suspension a little bit, the Barnes kit. And we'll go over that, but until then, let's get these back brackets cut off, and we'll see you soon. Alright guys, so we got all the brackets cut off of this frame here. I'm going to let y'all look at it. I'm going to flip the camera around and we will show you. I think it took about an hour to get all those old brackets off, and that's on a bare frame just sitting on the floor. So you're looking probably at about 2.5 hours just to get it all off of the Jeep with a grinder, of course. Plasma cutter, you could do it a lot quicker. But here's the the finished product of the old brackets. You can see I like to smooth all the old welds and stuff out, make it look good. I already have this in place. I haven't smoothed these out yet. I can get to those afterwards. You got all this here. I'll get all that afterwards. This frame's gonna get blasted and painted anyway. This frame's just in way too good of a condition to not coat it properly, inside and out. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna start mocking up all the suspension, really. I wanna get everything in place and get it ready to full weld the subframes. And that way we can get those installed and then start running links and get the axles over there put in. So that's what we're gonna work on next. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just leave it on a normal video for you all and talk to you the whole time. And we'll go from there. I'll set you up on the tripod here. So, just like that. So that's what I'm going to start working on now. What I got to do, I got to get one of the joints. I actually have a spare one that I keep just for this purpose of setting up brackets. Put a little spacer and a little washer. That way when you go to final assembly, everything just slides in and out real nice and easy. Because if you just put the joint in there, weld it up, when you weld it, it's going to pull in and everything's going to shrink after it cools down, and you'll have the time of your life trying to get those joints in there. So always just put a thin washer in there with the joints, tighten everything up, and go from there with it. So that's what we're going to start working on now. One thing I will say, this Harbor Freight Titanium 200, amazing welder. I've done a couple Jeeps with it. It's held up great. The biggest thing I found is you have to let them run their cool cycle. If you don't let them run their cool cycle, they'll burn them up. So if you get one, let it run its cool cycle. I like to let mine run for about 30 minutes after I'm done welding, sometimes 45. Just let it cool down all the way and then shut it down. Don't shut it down prematurely. Like I said, I don't do any full welding with the joints in. I don't want to burn the Teflon out of the joints. It's not good for them. So you can get a little warm just by tacking up everything. And then make sure you take them out when you full weld, because you will ruin the joints. Just like that, another one's done. Awesome. Alright, I'm going to take y'all off and just show you what I just did. So basically what I did was just tacked everything up on the lower joints. And the reason I used the spacer or the washer, grinded down washer, or grinded down thin, is even though it's shrunk after the tack weld's cooled, there's still plenty of room to get that joint in and out of there. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna continue on just tacking everything up, going from there. I'm gonna get the subframes ready, fully ready. And then what I'll end up doing is fully welding the subframes, getting all that prepared. And then after everything on the subframes is welded, I'll weld the subframe to the frame. So the welding to the frame will be the last step in the process. I'm gonna put y'all back up on the tripod here. That way you can get a full view of everything that's going on. Alright guys, so I got the one side all welded up. Still got the top piece to do on it, but it is welded. All the lower control arm and rear upper control arm mounts are welded in. I'll give you a shot real quick. Came out very nice. Everything is welded up there. So all that's left to do on this side is to get this piece here into place, and that will be after the subframe assembly is installed. So that'll get installed last. Still gotta weld this side up. And then once we get that in place, that'll be it for the subframe assembly. We'll put the skid plate on, and then we'll go ahead and flip this frame over. And the next course of action will be starting to make the links and everything. We'll get the axles underneath the frame, all that stuff. So I'm making some good headway on this frame right now. And I'm telling you, the titanium welder is just killing it. I got a little bit left on that spool. It's almost time to change it out. Yeah, that welder, it performs very good. I'm letting it cool down a little bit now. You know, you got to watch your duty cycle on that welder. But other than that, I mean, this is all 1/4-inch steel, and you can see it's getting very, very good deep penetration there. I mean, you can't ask for better than that. You got full heat all the way through on that. I mean, let's see, getting pretty decent penetration on welds like that. But we got full penetration there. It's going to be plenty strong enough. Plenty strong enough. So I'm going to put you all back on the time lapse. I'm going to weld this side up. And then I think what I'm going to do for the night is bolt the skid plate in place. and maybe try to flip this frame over. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. It's a lot of work to flip this frame over by myself. A lot of work. I need a hoist or something in this garage, but it's not really tall enough for that. That's why there's no lift in here either. So I'm gonna get back to work, and we'll see you all when I get this all finished up here. Alright guys, so I thought I was going to have enough welding wire to finish up the subframe tonight. Unfortunately, ooh, camera's a little dirty. Okay, we're back. Unfortunately, this is the current situation. That is empty. There is no welding wire left on that spool. So, all we had to finish up was welding this lower control arm, this rear upper control arm, and the skid plate on the other side for the subframe to go into place. So now what we're gonna do, I believe the best course of action is to be done for the night. So I'm gonna go to the store tomorrow morning, see if I can pick up a 10-pound spool of 035 wire locally. If not, I'll have to run down. It's about 45 minutes away to a welding store, pick some up. So for you all, it's going to be a flash. For me, it's going to be about 8 to 10 hours before I start work again. All right, guys, it's the next day. I got a little bit ahead of myself. My buddy Zach, two-frame we're working on. He brought me over some 035 MIG wire, and I started fully welding everything into the frame. You see the passenger or driver upper control arm mount is in. We got that in there. So everything's coming along nice. We just got a couple stitch welds on the outside to do. Weld in these rear upper control arm mounts. And then we'll be making links and getting axles under this thing. Hopefully within the next hour or so, we'll have the axles up and going, have the springs under it, and the frame will be back on its weight. So I'm gonna set you all up on a time lapse while we do some finish welding, and I'll pick you back up and we'll talk once everything's welded in and secure with the skid plate and everything. Alright, so we got it all fully welded in. Got the stitch welds all the way across the top of that. Back side's welded in. Rear mounts are fully welded in. Everything is completely welded in. Now what we're going to do is start making up some links, get these axles underneath the frame, and set our height with our springs, everything like that. Get this belly pan on, and then we'll start swapping drivetrain and stuff over. So for now, this is going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching.